Good. Got it now. Good afternoon and welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'm going to show you a number of things. Good afternoon. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. As ever, we are here speaking about what concerns many of us in the South. Southerners, we speak for Southerners, Middle Belt, Yorubas and Igbos. This platform, if you are a Southerner, this platform is for you. I would urge you to please subscribe to the platform, help us spread the message, share, subscribe. It's very, very important we understand what is going on. I'm just trying to make sure I get this right. So it's in there. So can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. I hope you can hear me. Ooh, I can't hear anything. Can you hear me? Oops. Oh, sorry. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I think you can hear me. I know it's connected somewhere else, so I don't want that to be there. Let me just switch that off. I know what's happened. Okay, so let me just check that. Good morning. Let me just check that. Sorry. Okay, now let's hear you. Can you hear me? You can hear me. Okay, good. Good morning to you all. Please subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Now, we're going to do one or two things. I'm going to play you a video. There's a number of things I will be doing on the platform this morning, but I want to start off with one video that I've shared on Facebook, on Citizen AY. I want to start with that video. We are talking about the plight and the plight and the of the people of citizens of country Nigeria, that they've been told to go make that they will get help assistance in Poland. That much we know, and I'll read through what they've said about that. Let me just try and get that to you if I can get it going. Hopefully this will just give me a minute, please. I normally would have this prepped up, but I was running a bit late, and I had to just wing it somewhat. Because I wanted to check that the broadcast was working. Oh, right. Okay. So those of you on YouTube, you wouldn't have picked that up yet. So let's do something again. That's what I'm, beg your pardon. Good morning to you all. So let's go live on YouTube as well. Facebook as well, sorry. Good morning and welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I'm hoping that we can get this thing up and running. Let me try one more different thing. There is something that I wanted you to see briefly and rather quickly if you like. And hopefully it will come up. I wanted you to watch this. I'm hoping that this will make it easier. It's going to be a problem this morning. I don't know why this is happening. There is a video that I wanted you to watch. But if that doesn't show up, whilst we're waiting for that, I will get something else on board for you to look at. Our focus remains, why is it that our government is unwilling to help our people and to give them the information that they need to be able to, get on with things and solve their lives. So now here we go. Hoping that works. Okay. So we're going to just wait. I want to show you a video, this is solely about Ukraine. There was a video that I saw this morning and I wanted to share it, and I felt it was worth sharing, but for some reason it is not loading up and I need to fix that. But whilst we're waiting for that, I want you to listen to this video from a minister in Nigeria. These are more reasons. Everything I'm showing you is about more reason why we need to leave contraption Nigeria. I hope you can see me. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Okay. Sorry, let me just make sure. So let me just get the other things in. I don't quite know why it's taking its time. It shouldn't be doing this. It normally loads up immediately, but I'm trying to get this working. It's just not. Okay. Now, let's put that for one side. I'll sort that out whilst I'm talking to you. I'll sort that in the background. There's another way we can do this. We can, there's lots of usually other ways we can do this. But in the short term, I want you to listen to this video. Not that one. Sorry. this one.
The second time in office. Your salary will be paid. The salary of the lecturer will be paid. We want to really know what is happening.
I want you to.
So, if it is,
I want you to listen to this. Those of you that believe in one Nigeria, I want you to watch this video. This is a strike, and a minister in that contraption. Listen to his words at the end. I want you to just listen, and you tell me if one Nigeria makes any sense to you anymore. If you still believe in one Nigeria, just listen to it. A minister for education was called to come in and speak to the unions to try and trash out what's happening. The unions made the complaints. Just watch what happens. Let's watch this. Then I'll get the other video for you about the young lady in Ukraine.
The second time in office. Your salary will be paid. The salary of the lecturer will be paid. We want to really know what is happening. So, if it is for us to take our cross on us, we'll be able to take that. So, we are tired of this incessant strike on our education sector. Nigerians should look at Nigerians who want to migrate from Ukraine to back to Nigeria. It showed the lackadaisical attitude of our government toward education sector. That is why Nigerians are leaving this country to study outside the country. Because our government has bastardized our education. They have killed the primary and secondary school education in this country. And you can only see the children of the poorest to attend public primary and secondary school. Now, all our lecturers, I can say it equivocally, that all our lecturers, all honorable ministers, we saw it on social media. You celebrated your son who graduated in a country, a university outside this country. We appreciate that. Our parents also have that money to send us outside the country. But we are in this country, then we should enjoy what we are paying for. So we want an adequate funding of education in this country. Honorable Minister, our message is we want to go back to class. We want our school to be open. If our school is not open, we are saying it. It's not a threat. When we said we are coming out, as I speak, nearly the Niger road is blocked, Benue is blocked, Adamawa is blocked. If care is not taken, this will be worse than NSAS. Thank you and God bless you.
Now listen to
lecturers there.
Listen to him.
The only point
that's your minister.
That is worthy of even attention is you said students should be involved in this, and I think probably this is a very good thing. And it is the only thing I'm going to take out of what you have said here.
Just keep watching. Keep watching.
Thank you very much.
That's your Minister for Education. That's your Minister for Education. Let's play back with all of the complaints and the worries of the unions about the lack of assistance. In fact, they even they said his son was studying in America, abroad. They didn't mention where. We know, I think it's in the UK, and he was there. And what does he do? He walks out. Listen to this. I want you to listen to what he's going to say. Just listen. Let's play back. Listen to this now.
So instead of coming here, you should have addressed your lecturers there. Perhaps the only point that you made that is worthy of even attention is you said students should be involved in this, and I think probably this is a very good thing. And it is the only thing I'm going to take out of what you have said here. Thank you very much.
Can you see that? He walks away from a meeting. He walks away from a meeting. Now, this should tell us something. These people believe that they are lords, that they are gods, that whatever they say goes. This is the born to rule mentality that you're seeing on display. We are just, exactly, we just cannot be. When a minister that's supposed to listen, the idea of what a minister does is to listen to the people and do the will of the people. Now, a minister where there is a strike, the unions want to protest, the least he could do was listen to them and then work out how they're going to resolve the problems, be it pay, be it, lack of studies. This guy's listed a list of many things. Students not being able to go to school or afford to schools, the education system has been destroyed. He listens to none of that. And he just says the only thing I agree with is the students and they should be part of it. And that's all I'm going to say. And it works out. But yes, you want us to be one Nigeria. This is what we mean that one Nigeria can never work. It will never work. We must go for referendum now. Let's listen to the union members and see their reaction, justifiably so. Please subscribe to Citizen AI on YouTube.
You can now see that we don't finish that. The minister that they are paying his salary. We don't finish that.
You see?
He walked out of us.
Adamu, Minister Adamu, can you see? They are justified.
The second time in office.
So the reason I'm playing that to you all is for you to understand exactly why we keep saying that one Nigeria will never work. It will never, it can never in a million years work. Because what Minister Adamu displayed right there is a born to rule mentality. It is a born to rule mentality. And these are why we are comfortable and confident in saying to Southerners in particular, if you're a Middle Belt, if you're Igbo, if you're a Oduduwa person like myself, we are saying to you, please join us. Please be part of this struggle. We need to go for referendum because Adamu has displayed exactly what the non-indigenous Fulanis think about indigenous people like you and I who are Middle Belt, Igbos, and Yorubas. Indigenous people, by indigenous people, I mean we are the people to whom the land belongs. We are the people to whom that land belongs. And these people, there are only about 13 million Fulanis in our land. And look at how we are being treated in our own land by a non-indigenous person. And they force themselves, they tell us they are the ones who are supposed to rule. Born to rule for what? What is the point of you ruling when nothing is working? We cannot be one with these people. We cannot be one. Please go ahead, subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. I'd really would really appreciate your support in that. I'm going to give the link up. I'll put the link up and I'll share it on as many platforms. And I'd like you all to please share that. We appreciate your help in doing this because we need to grow that platform. Yes, we have quite a few people who are supporting us. Go ahead and subscribe right now. Let me give you the link. I'll put it up there, paste. And I'm also going to pin the phone number to call in later on. That number is not going to be live just yet, but just let me talk for a few minutes about a few things. And I want you to be aware of what is going on. So let me do here. Okay, so now I'm going to pin that. So when you see this, on those of you on Facebook, we really would appreciate you going along to the YouTube channel and subscribing to us and watch us there. Facebook have been doing a lot of things. I notice even on many of us, they don't even allow us to even share or talk about anything on there. And it is very, very important that we continue to speak truth to power. Now, what that minister did, again, let's listen to his voice. Listen to what he said. A minister, Minister Adamu, listen to his words. Listen to his.
Your lecturers there. Perhaps the only point that you made that is worthy of even attention is you said students should be involved in this, and I think probably this is a very good thing.
Thank you, sir.
And it is the only thing I'm going to take out of what you have said here. Thank you very much.
Can you see? He walks out of a meeting. He walks out of a meeting. These are the things that we are pointing out. A minister walks out of a meeting where they're trying to avert strike. Many of our students are not in school because of bad Poor education. And this is your minister for education. This is the attitude that he has to education, which is supposed to be the most important part of any governance. Education. But your minister decides to walk out, shows little or no regard for those who are protesting. He doesn't care. His child is in a foreign country receiving the very education that he has prevented citizens of that contraption from getting, and is telling us to believe in one Nigeria. These are the people telling us to believe in one Nigeria. I want you to really understand and comprehend what is being said right now. These are the same people who are telling us to believe in one Nigeria. And these are the things that we keep saying. Please go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube as you're watching. We really do appreciate you. And go ahead and make people aware of what is being discussed. Our focus, of course, still remains on what is happening to Nigerians in Ukraine. We've got a little bit of some information that we'll be sharing with you and to bring to your attention. But like I said, what we're doing is to try and share this with you, so that you can help us at least go ahead, subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube as you're watching. Also follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram as well. So I'm just giving you context. We will come back and play this again later on. I'm going to hold it there. His child, don't forget, he's receiving education in a foreign land. But the same people who are telling us to believe in one Nigeria, they don't care about the people within that contraption. They don't. Particularly if you're Southerners. The amendment the amendment that they put forward where the House of Reps and the Senators signed up to, that amendment is simply to allow Fulanis to be able to be in all states in Nigeria and lay claim to the land in those states. That is all it's all about. That is all that amendment is about. It's about taking, yet away, denying us, the indigenous people, our direct right to the land of our ancestors. So it's time we woke up. We need to go for referendum, without a doubt. Now, I'll pause that there. Let me get the next one I wanted to show you. Where is it? So I'm going to bring this up, if I can find it. I'm hoping it comes up. I think it's here. Where is it? No, not there. Sorry about that. One more thing. I just want to quickly... where is it? 1 second, please. I have it here. I had it here just now. And it was showing up, and I was ready to go with it. But I will bring it up. I want to go and talk about the issue of the students in Ukraine. Now, let me go. I'll show you a note list. I want to show you something else. Sorry about that. Okay, now let's get this done. No, sorry about that. That's not what I wanted to do. No, okay, now that's it. Now, this is what I want you to see. 1 second. This is the information that they've been given. I don't know if you can see it. This is the information that they've been given. So the information goes like this. Let me know if you can see that on the screen. I will come back to that. I just wanted to show you this, and I'm going to read this to you so that we can read it together and follow what is being said. It says, please, if you know of any Nigerian in Ukraine, let such person move to Poland border. Below are the numbers to call for help and assistance. Nigerians in diaspora organization Europe, Poland executive, Dr. Tadi. So they give us a number and everything else. So Warsaw, Gdansk, Chizoba in Poland. Okay, that's good. There's only one problem. Let's see if I can find this video for you. There's only one problem. The people that they are asking to go and do that, they cannot get to Poland. No, not this one. Sorry. Where is it? Not that one. Sorry. I'll get it in the end.
The second time in office.
No.
Your salary
sorry. Not that one. Where is it? Sorry about this. I'm just going to have to do it another way. 1 second. Let me get it to you. This was a video that was out just yesterday, and I wanted to show it to you again. So let's get this out, and I'll come back to the first one, which I was trying to show you. So now, the Nigerian government is telling people who are stuck in Ukraine, students, you find your way down to Poland. And we already know that in Poland don't like black people. So you would think that this government will have a plan to at least gather all of the people, students in Ukraine, to a point where they can get through, provide a system for them to get through without having to be frustrated at the border. Oh, no. Your government won't do that. The same attitude that you see Minister Adamu have is the same attitude that all of the people who are supposed to be caring for citizens, that's what they have. Now, let me bring this up again. Is that it? 1 second, please. No, that's yeah, it is correct. 1 second, please. I'm just gonna, so let me just play this for you. Okay, that's it. Yeah, that's it. So it will come up in a minute, and I want you to listen. That's the number they've given. Yes, fine. They've said make your way. It says here, move to Poland border. Move to the Poland border. Now, how do you expect the students who are just students, how are they supposed to get to Poland border with all this war going on? How? Tell us. The point is you should be helping them in Ukraine to get to that border. That is why you are ministers. That is why you should be providing, there should be embassy staff. We know that diplomats they have immunity. The mere fact of having an embassy staff, in that area, the Russians and everybody, they will be wary of doing anything because of the UN protocol. Why aren't we taking advantage of that to get our people out? That's the question I want to ask. So let me just see if I can download this one. I know I have it there, but I'll just show you. So there's two things I want to show quickly, but I'm hoping that this will come back. 1 second, let me just see. Is that it? No. Okay. So it will get there. It's just taking its time. I don't know why it's taking its time to do that now. I'm going to show you the video. I showed it yesterday, but I want to show it again today. So what I'm saying is that they are saying to us they are willing to help, but other countries, they've given this number. And by the way, people have tried these numbers, Dr. Tade's number and others, and some of them have said that it hasn't gone through. People, those of you watching, if you know of any Nigerians stuck in Ukraine, pass this number to them. Let us hear them live on air. So we don't want to make any conjecture. Let us hear from them directly. They can call on 447399 580-606. They can call in live on air. We're live on air right now, and they can tell us what is happening. What is their experience right now? Are they getting help from the Nigerian government? Because we're not interested in sort of labeling somebody and saying they're not doing something. We are only going by the evidence of what people tell us. So we're not interested in aspersions or anything. We are only interested in facts and what the people say. Are they receiving the help they should receive? These are the reasons why we are saying what we're saying in terms of us going for referendum. There is nothing that the government of Nigeria is doing to support Nigerians in their hour of need. There is nothing. And I'm sure you will agree with me. Those of you watching, those of you talking about one Nigeria, you will agree with me that that is indeed the case. So the number is on the screen, like I said on there, 447399 580-606. Call in. Let me just switch this on. Sorry about that. So let me make sure that is on. I thought it was on, but I forgot that. So I'm going to put that on so that if anybody wants to call in, you're welcome to call in. Now, let's make sure that we've got the... Please go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube also as you're doing that. Subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up and hit the notification button as well. That way you will get information as and when we go live. Very, very important that. Now, I was trying to get something else, so I will just do this as we are watching this now. So please go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Tell family and friends. We really do need your support in getting that up and running. That platform is growing really well, but we need more and more people to continue to go there. So when we go live, Facebook, we do not rely on Facebook. They are deliberately depressing our numbers. They're deliberately taking us off the list of people, so you won't get notifications. That's why people don't get notifications when we go live. So we are not going to focus on Facebook. We just use it when it's there. But what we're saying is, please move on. Let's migrate to YouTube and work with YouTube. That is of extreme importance, and we are truly grateful for those of you who have already subscribed. It really does help us. Now let me just make this one here now. So let's do this, and you will see it come up. That's what they put up, and now you will see what is going on. That's what they put up. So when you see that, there's they are helping. They're helping. I want you to listen to the voice of students in Ukraine. I played it yesterday, but I want to play it again today. Here we go.
This is us. Call his number. I would like you to please put calls across to the person and disturb them. If you have family members who can get across to them and disturb them.
We're so stranded. We've not eaten, no place to rest. We're just here. And we just left the cold outside for 6 hours. We've been outside.
That's your one Nigeria for
begging,
you.
Pushing, dragging. It's been so traumatic just trying to get into the border, and we're not able to get there. Since morning, we've been told that all Nigerians, the embassy has gotten buses for us and stuff, but we've not seen any.
There's no
and
bus.
then we watch other nationalities leave.
No
It's really, really so sad. People have been crying. People fainted. It's really horrible. Please, Nigeria, please come to our aid.
You see, they are begging Nigeria, come to our aid. Listen to those words. Listen to that that's haunting. Listen.
It's horrible. Please, Nigeria, please come to our aid.
That's your one Nigeria. One Nigeria does not care about students, particularly if they're Southerners. They are more interested in getting as many Fulanis into the country to make it a Fulanized nation. That's the plain fact. And we have to speak truth to power. That's what's going on. Now, let me show you this video. I'll come back to that one again, but I want to show you this video if I can hopefully get there. Now, this is what I want you to look at. Beg your pardon. It wasn't coming earlier, but I've got it now. This is a lady in Ukraine.
On the Google map, it was saying a 1 hour walk.
You see?
And I was like, 1 hour walk is nothing, if it's getting us there on time. And we walked, and it kept increasing. The term walking is traumatizing me.
There you go.
Walking.
You see?
I walked for 12
hours.
12 good hours. And it's not an exaggeration. The traffic warden saw me and said I should go to a shelter to sleep. And I slept, and he said the next day that there is a bus going from that shelter straight to the Polish border. And when it was time to get on this bus,
Listen.
the Ukrainians said, just Ukrainians, literally
Listen.
as a black person.
You see?
I even lied that I was pregnant. They didn't care.
You see?
I was begging.
You see?
The official literally looked me in my eye and said in his language,
You see?
only Ukrainians,
That's all.
That if you are black, you should walk.
You see that?
And that was an additional 8 hours.
If you are black, you should walk. I want you to remember that comment, because I am going to now go and discuss something further later on. Listen to that comment.
He really looked me in my eye and said in his language, only Ukrainians, that's all. That if you are black, you should walk.
You should
and
walk.
That was an additional 8 hours.
That's what they're facing.
We were.
If you are black, you should walk.
Minutes. So we had to walk additional 8 hours. The problem isn't at the Polish border. It is at the Ukrainian border.
There you go.
Because you have to stamp out at the Ukrainian border to get on the Polish side. And the Ukrainians are only prioritizing their citizens.
You see?
They don't care. They will push you. They will beat you.
You see?
If you can make it, you make it. If you don't, you don't. I took a nap and I still felt like I was still walking, I hadn't crossed over. It's not fair. We're just begging to go. I literally had to go back to my city after that experience, re-strategize, and took a train to Hungary. It wasn't even easy getting to Hungary. We had to pay. Those that didn't have money to pay, what would they do?
There you go.
I couldn't help anybody because I was fighting for my life.
That's your one Nigeria.
It's a traumatizing experience.
That's your
And
one
I don't know
Nigeria.
where I'm going from now.
That's your one Nigeria.
In Hungary, try to get my ticket back to Nigeria because it's not safe. This place is not. If your skin is dark,
There you go.
you're at a disadvantage.
If your skin is dark, you are at a disadvantage in Ukraine. Let us listen to her words again. Let's listen to her words all over again. Listen. I want you to listen to this. There was a lady. Let me see if I can find her name. What's her name? Jessica. Jessica is her name. And please, if you do want to call in, you can call in on 447399580606. We would really appreciate anybody from Ukraine that can call in directly to us on Citizen AY, because we want to be able to. We want the world to hear your voice. We want the world to know what you're going through even now. If this lady, if anybody can get to Jessica to call us directly as well, we can talk to her on phone, on air, or bring in even via Zoom to bring her in live. All of this is possible. But what we're trying to do is to show you that the contraption doesn't care about you. It says here, Nigerian student Jessica, covered by BBC Nigeria, BBC Africa. Nigerian student Jessica had kept in touch with us about her journey out of Ukraine. She's among the hundreds and thousands of people fleeing the country and one of many Africans who have described facing racism at the borders. Now, that's what I mean. The point here is that we are facing racism, and we have to say it. Those of us who are even in diaspora, this is what you face on a daily basis. Yes, some of us go through, you don't necessarily experience that, but all of us can recount. I doubt there's any one person, black person, that will say, I have never experienced it in my life. We have all experienced it in one form or the other. For her to be at the border and they say only Ukrainians, and say, oh, anybody with black skin, listen to the whole thing. Listen.
I was begging. The official literally looked me in my eye and said in his language, only Ukrainians, that's all. That if you are black, you should walk.
See that? If you are black, you should walk.
I'm currently in Debrecen, Hungary. I got in
She's in Hungary now. She managed to get to Hungary.
10 a.m. today. Today is the 28th of February.
Sorry about that.
It wasn't easy. On Friday at 8 a.m., I was on my way to Poland. I took a commercial taxi and the taxi couldn't stay on the line of cars because literally cars had been there for 2 days.
You see?
And when we dropped, on the Google map, it was saying a 1 hour walk. And I was like, a 1 hour walk is nothing, if it's getting us there on time.
Mm-hmm.
And we walked.
You see?
We walked and it kept increasing. Mm-hmm. The term walking is traumatizing me. The term walking, I walked for 12 good hours, and it's not an exaggeration. The traffic warden saw me and said I should go to a shelter to sleep, and I slept, and he said the next day that there is a bus going from that shelter straight to the Polish border. And when it was time to get on this bus, the Ukrainians said, just Ukrainians, literally as a black person.
Just Ukrainians.
I even lied that I was pregnant. They didn't care. I was begging. The official literally looked me in my eye and said in his language, only Ukrainians, that's all. That if you are black, you should walk. And
if you are black, you should walk.
Hours from where we were. By car, it was like 30 minutes. So we had to walk additional 8 hours. The problem isn't at the Polish border. It is at the Ukrainian border. Because you have to stop out at the Ukrainian border to get on the Polish side. And the Ukrainians are only prioritizing their citizens. They don't care. They will push you. They will beat you. If you can make it, you make it. If you don't, you don't. I took a nap and I still felt like I was still walking, like I hadn't crossed over. It's not fair. We're just begging to go. I literally had to go back to my city after that experience, re-strategize, and took a train to Hungary. It wasn't even easy getting to Hungary. We had to pay. Those that didn't have money to pay, what would they do? I couldn't help anybody because I was fighting for my life. It is a traumatizing experience.
See that?
And I don't know where I'm going from now. I literally have to re-strategize in Hungary, try to get my ticket back to Nigeria because it's not safe. This place is not, if your skin is dark,
there you go.
you're at a disadvantage.
You see? So that's what they are faced with. This is what our people are faced with on a daily basis. And of course, with the and this is what the students, again, the story is the same wherever we go. The story remains the same. There is a lack of care. Sorry, I'm just getting a bit, I'm just going to, there is a lack of care for the citizens. And that story there, if you are black, you should walk. Africans are being prevented from getting to the border. And that's a fact. This is what people are not being talking about. The main news will not carry this. And we need to understand that even as we speak, the places that it is now obvious to us, because you're a black person, they will not because, as any African, whether in any part of the West, the same treatment is what we get, including black Americans. And you heard her say that. Now let's listen to, you would think the Nigerian government would factor this in, but they don't care because it is a meeting of mind for them. It serves their own purpose. Their purpose is to take that land. So of course, if they oppress or suppress Southerners, it suits their aim. They're not going to do anything. That's why we need to go for referendum. Let's carry on. Let's listen to this. Let me listen to it again. I'll show you this.
This
This is
to
us.
call his number. I would like you to please put calls across to the person.
Afua, thank you, Afua. Thank you, my sister. Thank you for joining. Yes.
We're so stranded. We've not
gonna show
eaten.
up.
No place to rest. We're just
The rich
here.
people will be quiet.
And like we just left the cold outside for like 6 hours. We've been outside. We've been begging, pushing, dragging. Like it's been so traumatic just trying to get into the border, and we're not able to get there. Since morning, we've been told that all Nigerians, the embassy has gotten buses for us and stuff, but we've not seen any. And then like we watch other nationalities leave, and it's really, really so sad. Like people have been crying, people fainted. It's really horrible. Please, Nigeria, please come to our aid.
I'm afraid however much she begs, Nigeria will never come to our aid. They will not come to our aid. And it is obvious from what you can see. If you know, let me see. We will not surprise if they, let me see, somebody said, see, if they bundle them for in one place, like prisoners, we will not surprise what this evil government can do to their citizens. Exactly. So now, I'm just bringing this to our attention that the Nigerian government, all they have done is put out a statement. And in fact, I'm going to go further now, and I'm going to read to you their statement again. Let me just pull back away from this because I wanted to just show you. Let me show you the statement that they put out this morning. I'm going to read through it for you. Let's read through it. Ukraine, Nigerian government, Nigerians. So listen, he says here, Ukraine, Nigerians to be evacuated through the embassy in Poland, FG. What is the point? The lady that just spoke now, she had to make her way to Hungary. You can see that this is a failed, useless governance that we want no part of. Let's listen to what they're saying. It says here, the federal government has said measures are ongoing to evacuate citizens stranded in war-hit Ukraine through the Nigerian embassy in Warsaw, Poland. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs disclosed this in a statement titled Public Notice to the Nigerian Embassy in Poland on Saturday. The statement read, in light of the happenings in Ukraine, please be advised that all Nigerians crossing over to Poland would have staff of the Nigerian embassy waiting for them. The federal government is making necessary arrangements for evacuation of those stranded in Ukraine through the embassy in Warsaw, Poland. Please present this as your destination address with the border control 025-5093 Koziaki, all of these numbers. Fine. The statement added that the Nigerian embassy staff, along with volunteers, will be at the Polish-Ukrainian border with buses van to pick up Nigerians from the crossing border points and locations listed in the documents below. So these are the documents. Surrender, get your share. Anyway. So that's what it says here. So that's what Let me see if I can show that document. So that's the document here that you see. All of this is just a we are doing something exercise. They are not on ground. I've shown you two videos now. In those two videos, the so-called Nigerian government people, they are not doing anything. Onye Dikachi Opuruche, you're right. The Western Caucasian philosophy is their land and people race first. Let's get that straight. You're absolutely right. There's no doubt about it. So we have to end that contraption. And I want to say something to you all. I'm bringing this, and I'm going to bring this up now because I've been doing a little bit of a research, and we need to understand what is going on. There is likely to be a war going on. That's going to happen. No doubt about it. It's going to be a war. Here's why I think a war is a likely outcome of what is going on currently. Let's see if I can find. Can I find that? No, I can't see it. Okay. What I will do, let me just do it. Okay, I'll do it this way. Let me do it this way. I want to show you something. A war is likely to happen. And I want to show you this broadcast so you can see what I mean. This is what was said in the UN Parliament, European Union Parliament. Listen to this.
Secretary General and the High Commissioner have done.
So,
we have
from anyone.
South end the city.
I want to show you the chief
boycott of Russia.
To move into a new and more dangerous phase, the Russian Defense Ministry.
Primary school in the village. Just.
Do you want to show you something?
Correspondent Anna Holligan joins me from the home.
And I've just been told in the last hour.
First thing on Thursday morning, it does look.
But we had a rocket attack.
Thank you for joining us from that.
Right now in Russia, ease this burden
of what the Russians are doing in Ukraine, and to remind you of the main line from Ursula von der Leyen as well in the European Parliament, saying we are more united than ever, but so this is freedom comes at a price, protecting liberty comes at a price, but that freedom is indeed priceless for the EU, and pledged $500 million for refugees who are pouring over the border. So many developments to bring you in this fast.
Persistent, practical.
So I want to just show you.
Gets ever closer invasion of Ukraine to show a huge liberation.
I want to show you where the UN were basically having a meeting, and they are going to. A war is going to happen.
Officials say she and her parents were shot dead by a Russian sabotage group.
Okay, let's have a look.
The next day.
There's a.
Then. Team here. Russia is not a member of
Putin's hands, not just of innocent
isolation of
our constitution.
I'm just trying to find you that point where the EU have now worked together to put a statement out whereby they are going to confront Russia. So it is going to be a war.
And fog patches.
Let me just find that, and then once I find that, we can then
the orders walked out. Well, let's speak now to our correspondent.
Weapons.
Imogen, thank you very much for that. Imogen.
Okay, let's hear for a few minutes. Okay.
We urge the High Commissioner to release without delay her report on the situation there.
Anyway,
we must redouble our efforts to address the growing humanitarian.
I don't want to focus on this so much now. I don't want to focus on what they're saying there, because one more thing that I would like us all to also bear in mind is that normally we like to show both sides of the discussion. So as we speak now, Russia Live, Russia Today or something, Russian TV Live is being blocked, so you can't see them on YouTube or anywhere as well. That's what they said they do. They're doing that. Now, the reason I'm talking about the fact of we Africans need to remember this point now. If you are black, you must work. They're only helping Ukrainians. If you are black, you must work. Tell everybody to be aware of that. This is in Ukraine. And also, we know that in Poland, the same thing happens. In Poland, black people were not considered to be anything. But here is what I want you all to remember. I want to show you. I'm going to go and show something. Let me see if I can find it for you. How do I get to this? If you do want to call in on 447-399-580-606. Call in and have a discussion and join in this discussion. We'll probably be here for about an hour or two. But I want to show you something which I came across. And I felt, you know what? This is something that we should really home in on. Let me see if I can go back on this one. I want to go back to the beginning of this program and see if I can find anything there. Let me see. No, it doesn't have that. I'm not going to play it until I get to the point where I show you what is being done. So Europeans are more interested in helping Europeans. That's fine. We don't have a problem with that. But then don't tell us that racism doesn't exist. You can't have it both ways. If Europeans want to focus on and make Europeans their priority, that is fine. But then don't in the same vein tell us that racism doesn't exist. But I want you to know something here. I'm going to forward this to you. Not forward it. I'm going to show you something which I saw this morning. And I want us to know. And that is what is going to happen next. That is why I'm trying to make sure that this is something that we are all aware of. Something that we should all be aware of that will happen. But now in the context of what is being done to us in Ukraine, our so-called Nigerian government are useless and we shouldn't count on them. We need to find a way ourselves at which we could set up a thing whereby between Middle Belt, Yorubas and Igbos to organize and set up a place, a system whereby we can get our people out from there because they are all Southerners. Majority of the people that you will see in Ukraine that went to study are all Southerners. So this is part of the responsibility that we should take on board as Middle Belt, Igbos and Yorubas. Do you agree with me? What is your comment on that? Do leave a comment. Do call in. You can call in on 0+44-739-580-606. And like I said, interestingly, the number that I showed you before, where they said they left the number for people to contact. When people try to call that number, the number that I'm showing you here, when people try to call that number, it didn't go through. Some people answered, "Oh, we'll get back to you," and nobody got back to them. And as you've seen, we've seen two separate videos now where the contract from Nigeria, they're not doing anything to help the citizens. And this is why we're saying we have to go for a referendum. You've seen the video of the Minister of Education, Adamu, telling people, "Oh, I listened to that, I'm not listening," and he walks out of a meeting. This is not your personal business. This is about a nation. And these are why we need to really speak up. Now, let me get another one I want to show you. I will be coming with quite a few information. Let me see. Now, good. I'm going to bring this now as well. So I want you to, all of these are things that we have not been aware of. And I think it's time that we begin to be aware of it. We be aware. They don't, if you are black, you must walk. That is what the Ukrainian officials are telling Nigerians or Africans. If you are black, you must walk. They don't care. And they could, so the Russians can kill you. They don't care. They are only interested in getting Ukrainians out, Europeans. And that is what we need to understand. Now, let me show you what I'm trying to, let me show you two things here. Now, in the First World War, I want you to read this. About 2,350,000 Africans were mobilized to fight in the First World War between 1914 and 1918. Why is that significant? You may ask. Why is that significant? Let me tell you something. I'm going to show you something. Treaty of Versailles, yeah? Let's go into Treaty of Versailles. This is why it's important. And that's why we need to really understand what is being done. Keep in mind, they told her, if you are African, you must walk. They are only helping Ukrainians, Europeans in effect. Now, let's go and look at territorial changes. I want you to look at this. Territorial changes. We carry on. One second. I'm just going to try and... no, not that one. There's something I wanted you to see. Oh, sorry. Come back. Let me just go. There's something I did yesterday, and I cannot remember how I got there. But it shows you. You see, in that 1916-1919 war, 2.5 million Africans fought in the war. And guess what? We were colonized. So we fought on both sides of the war. And we were in effect fighting for, as Africans, who was going to be the colonizer, the Germans or the Allies. That is what I'm trying to make you understand. Because when we come to this point now, because of the way we've been treated now, and that's why I said we need to remember this. Because of the way African people have been treated, that they say they should work, even if they're pregnant or whatever, they're not priority. Because of that, when Europe begins this war, they will come and say to us, oh, we want you to help us in fighting a just war. That's what they will say. But what is just in Europeans telling Africans, you must work? Even with the Russians closely coming and shooting and killing everybody inside. So now what I'm saying is that there's going to come to a point where they are going to say, okay, Africans, and you will see them. You will see European leaders from UK and from France. They're going to be touring Africa. And they will say nice things about Africans. They will say it. They are going to say nice things about Africans. I'm telling you, this is the reality that people face. So, let me see. This is the reality that people face. What she said here, that is the reality that people face. Let me go back to what she said. Here we go.
That's all. That if you are black, you should walk. And that was an additional 8 hours from where we were.
You see? There's that.
He looked me in my eye and said in his language, only Ukrainians, that's all. That if you are black, you should walk. And that was an additional 8 hours.
So I want you to just remember that. Now, like I said, it says here in the First World War, and I'm going to show you the figure for the Second World War again. I just want to bring this territorial thing up so that you understand exactly what was done. So the territory, let me see, territorial. Okay, let me just see. I'll come up to it in a minute. Okay. Oh, I saw it yesterday. I'll come up to it. Let me just come into... Okay, so now... There is a section where it talks about Africa, and that's what I'm trying to get out for you. I will get there. I showed it yesterday evening. And in that area, when Germany lost the war, they transferred the colonial, those countries under their colonization from themselves to, some of them to French. So that's why Cameroon, you have the Cameroon now who are French. They were originally German. And then you have there's a place in East Africa that was also transferred. And then you have Cameroon and Togo was transferred. The point I'm making is that with all of this name calling and the way we've been treated as people, we need to be aware of what is being done and why. And by the way, they paid compensation for the war. Again, now because of the racism that we've been treated of racism, it's time for us to really look at reparations in time for our enslavement of Africans and the name calling that we're going through. That is something that we should really be looking at. Others have been paid compensation because they've been enslaved, they've been destroyed and everything else. I'm not going to mention names. You know who I'm talking about. They've been paid millions. We've not received a penny, and the time has now come. And I'm asking, at this point, in that contraption, Nigeria, we have a situation where the the government is oppressing those who are going for self-determination. And you will notice that the UK government is saying nothing about that. Nothing whatsoever. Let me see if I can bring this. I'm just trying to find out for you, and I'm giving you a bit more updates. Let me see. Reparations. Okay. So I'm trying to see, there is a territorial bit that I want you to really get at. And the picture shows it all. It's actually even in pictures. It's okay. So not that one. Okay. They also had to, let me go back up. Sorry about this. I'm just trying to find out for you. So Treaty of Versailles is very important. Okay, now let's go. I think I will find it here. If I just go slowly. Here we go. Okay. 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 Territorial changes. There we go. Okay. Let's have a look. I think I'm close to it. If I'm not there. No. Okay. Go back again. I just need to. There is a bit that it will come up. It's territorial changes or thereabout. And I'm going to find it for you. I want you to understand that we are going to be going to war. A war will happen. It's not something that kind of war. Mind you, we are going through our own war because of the government of the day. With and here's the reason why I'm saying this. The UK government are refusing. We've been holding protest here. As Yorubas, as Igbos, as Middle Belters, we've been holding protest, bringing to the attention of the world that we are being suppressed in our own land. And nobody has not said anything or looked at that and taken that into consideration. All they've just simply said is, "Oh, right, okay, that's done. You know what? We will look at that," and they have not really accepted. Just like if you look at how quickly the West turned and decided to start helping Ukraine in terms of self-determination, we have been doing this protest about the fact that we are being oppressed by non-indigenous Fulanis in our land for 2 years. They've not even appeared to do anything. Indeed, the UK government is working closely with the people who are oppressing and suppressing us. They are working closely with them. They're doing everything they can to just ignore our call for self-independence. The very same thing, the self-determination, the very same thing that they're fully supporting Ukraine about. So the question now is this: when they come and say, okay, we are going to fight a war, yes, Africans are very important and everything else, it is time we remember that we are treated in a racist manner by the system. And we should now think carefully, collectively, before we join hands in supporting anything in that way. Because racism is being used to oppress us. Even in times of war, racism is happening. How can you tell people, if you're black, you must walk? That's what is going on. This is the sad reality. So let me just see if I can find I'm going to look for that for you one more time. I'm hoping to find that bit where it talks about here we go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Okay. Listen to this. Listen to this. The Treaty of Versailles was an important step in the statutes. It says here, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, South Africa are contributions, but as separate countries rather than as British colonies. India should make a substantial troop contribution, although under British control. 4 dominions, India separately from Benin, a clear recognition of the international community, were no longer British colonies. Well, no, that's not the point. The fact of the matter is that they were still. That's not actually the case, because after the war, many were still not independent. All of this is play with words. And the fact is, we sent 2 million men all of Africa, and what is really crucial is that those efforts, those support has not been recognized, because what? We are Africans. And these are the kind of things that we need to look at. I'm going to try and find that section for you, because I know I did it yesterday. Let me just see if I'm going to quickly go through the report. So please, if you do want to call in, do call in. Yeah, Yoruba nation is the only way, no going back. Absolutely, Gani Oguns. So we have to be very, very clear in our mind. Please subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. We've got to be very clear in our mind that going forward, we must not allow. Let me just see if I can find this thing for you, because I know it was there yesterday, and I want to make sure that we put it in the right context. It's very important in the context that it comes out, that you understand that what is going on now is we have to. A war is going to happen, and they're going to come and say, "Oh, we need you to support." Yes, you have to stand on the side of right. I would have expected the UK to have stood on the side of the right and said, "Okay, you know what? Yeah, we hear you loud and clear, and we agree with you. We're going to help you in terms of self-determination. We're going to impress upon the Nigerian government to mandates." That's it, mandates. Sorry, 1 second. I was just checking that. Mandates. I got it. So I think I got it. I just needed to find it for you. Mandates. So there's so many ways things are hidden, and you have to decipher mandates. There we go. Yeah. Now, I want you to read this with me. I was trying to find it whilst I was talking to you. I found it, and I want you to read this with me. Before I do that, I want you to listen to the words of Neville Chamberlain. Here we go. Let's find it for you. 1 second. Neville Chamberlain. So, now, listen to this. I'm going to play you a section here.
And may he defend the right, the branches of civil defence. If so, you will report for duty.
What difference would an extra £2,000 a month make to you 4 to 6 weeks from now? I want to talk to you.
Skip that.
In accordance with the in transport jobs. Now may God bless you all. Vital importance that you should carry on with your jobs.
Now listen to this is what Neville Chamberlain, he said this in 1939.
Now may God bless you all, and may he defend the right. For it is evil things that we shall be fighting against. Brute force,
bad faith, injustice,
oppression,
persecution.
And against them I am certain that the right will prevail.
Those are the words of Neville Chamberlain in 1999.
Faith, injustice, oppression, and persecution.
Right. Okay. So I want you all to. It's important because we're not very good at following what happened, and I wanted you to understand that. So, and in everything, brute force, bad faith, injustice, persecution, and oppression. Those 5 things, and in all of those things, they exist under the colonial era, and till today we are still facing those things. And I want us all to be aware of that. The reason I'm doing this is to make us to be aware of what is being done. Yoruba Nation is indeed the only solution. I agree with you. We have to be aware that the time will come where they will talk about, oh, after Africans, we have to believe in what is right, that the West is right and Russia is wrong. I think we need to all, what is your view? What should we do? In view of the fact that the racism that exists now, they don't want to help Africans now. But when the time comes for war, they're going to come and say we must work to defend the right. What is right, what is just. Europe is, West is right, and Russia is wrong, But in both cases, either Russia or the West, the one thing is clear. They are both racist towards us. So what should we do in that case? And in view of the fact that when we are going for the same self-determination that Ukraine is going for, we are not getting the same support from the West. When we are going for the same self-determination that Ukraine has been on that road, we in the Africans, we are not assisted. Indeed, the UK government, they look the other way. They say they want to cement their partnership with Contraction Nigeria, which is solely there to oppress and suppress Southerners. And we need to really understand that. The time is come for us. When that call comes, when they come and start, saying all these warm words about Africa is great, Africa is a wonderful place, now we need you to join in the war effort, they will try. They're going to try. That's the point. We must remember that if you are black, you must walk. At that point is when we should. Do you agree with me? Do you see is it something that if you do want to call in, you can call in. Call in on +44 7399 580 606 if this resonates with you. Because to have what happened to that lady, if you are black, you must walk in a war zone. That's deep racism. That means they couldn't care if you are alive or not. But the same people are soon going to be coming down to our shores, talking to us, the UK, the French, and they'll be telling us Africa is a great place to be able to protect the freedom that they want for them and whereby they got independence. And we are not independent, because as we speak now, in the French countries, the African French countries, all speak French as their main language. The English ones all speak English as their main language. Mali is trying to begin to make a change of that. And as we speak, France is collecting $500 billion from 14 African countries. So what freedom exactly what freedom are we talking about? And our resources as under the UK, the Great Britain, the talk of a Commonwealth. That Commonwealth has never trickled down to Africans. It isn't. And these are the things. And this is why we have to go to. You see the picture you see behind me here? I want you to just look at that. That picture that you see behind me, that picture is telling you the resources we have in our own land. If once we go for self-determination as Igbos, as Middle Belt, as Yorubas, we will be able to survive. Our people will not have to be fleeing their land. We won't have to go to Ukraine for somebody in Ukraine to be telling us, if you are black, you must walk. Everything we need is in our land. Everything we need. And it's time we understand that. Now I just want to I'll play this one more time to understand that everything is said, bad faith, brute force, injustice, persecution, and oppression. Those 5 things he mentioned, that is the key ingredients of colonialism. Those are the key ingredients of colonialism. And then when they now turn the words to now try and get us to now join in, you can see the evidence. If you are black, you must walk. It's racism. It is racism. I'm not saying everybody's doing it, but it is something that has impacted many, many, many Nigerians and Africans. And it is a shame, even more so, that our governance will not even factor that into their actions and make sure we are hurriedly taken away from that. And they fail to realize that if this happens to one African person, that is how they are viewed. That is how those who think they are in high office and they are being respected by the system, when it comes to it, they will treat you exactly the same. Miko Arrow, absolutely. We should do nothing. You are absolutely right. We should do nothing, So we need to really wake up. Yeah, Karoji is not for the monarchs and elites. It's to be fair to everyone. Thank you very much. So these are the things that we're talking about. Please do, as you're coming in, do subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. We really do need your support in getting that up and running. Not up and running, to continue to grow it, because we need to have an alternative platform. You can see that Facebook, the numbers are deliberately going down, and it's not rising. There's a deliberate act of they're not promoting it as a would, because we have over 112,000 followers, 150,000 followers, if I'm correct. And they're telling me that only 33 are watching. They are not promoting it. We are speaking truth to power, and we will not let anyone deter us. That is why we need your support in growing the platform, the Citizen AY platform on YouTube. Please also follow us on Instagram and on Twitter. We are on those platforms, and we need to have those platforms to be able to work should in case anything they don't want us to talk or whatever it is. So it's important we understand that. Let me just play this to you. Let me just play this to you as we're going on.
And persecution.
Let me play that too.
For it is evil things that we shall be fighting against.
Evil things.
Brute force.
You see?
Bad faith.
Brute force. Bad faith. Injustice. Oppression.
And persecution.
Persecution. Those things are key ingredients of colonialism. They are the key ingredients of colonialism. So, and it's important we understand that. Now, let me go and show you the treaty to show you how they transferred the 2 million people that went to fight. Let me show you what happened. They are from all over Africa, but this is what happened to those in those colonies. Let's look at this. Now, it says here, Article 119 of the treaty required Germany to renounce sovereignty over former colonies. They required Germany to renounce sovereignty over former colonies. And Article 22 converted the territories into League of Nations mandates. Are you hearing me? Are you following me as an African? Mandates under control of allied states, which means they transferred the control of African land from Germany to the allied countries. So, an example of Togo land. Togo, many people will know, is largely Yoruba land. Speaking Yoruba. They were forcibly carved up by the Germans when in the scramble for Africa in the Berlin Conference. Like I said, many people will know. You recall my talk, let me show you a picture again to bring that. All of this is to wake us up, because this is what will happen again. They're gonna come again. This third world war is going to happen. But are we prepared? We shouldn't fall for the same trick. Now let's have a look at this quickly. I want to just show you a picture, if I can get that up. And this is not about. It's about knowing what has been done and how it's impacted us. That's all we're saying. So here we go. So this was the people, this guy here is known as Otto von Bismarck. He's the German chancellor at the time of 1884-85, when there was the scramble for Africa. There were 14 European countries, including Czechoslovakia, UK, US, France, Italy, Russia. They were all there as they carved up Africa. And I just wanted to just put that in there. So now, not long after that was this 1916, where they were now, after what they did that treaty and the war broke out between them and Germany. Germany lost the war. They took the colonies, all of the colonies that Germany sort of forced into a treaty, took it from them. So I'm just giving you context. I'm giving you context so you understand how everything fits together. Now let's go back again. Now, so you can hear now, under the mandate, the article of 119, and these are, you see, the play with words is so, you see, I was trying to find it and I couldn't. But then I remember that it was under mandate I find it. If you look at what they're talking about mandates, what they're really saying is transfer of treaty from, transfer of colony from German to the allied countries. But they didn't say that, they said mandate. So words can be used to hide a myriad of crimes. Words that look innocuous to you. Or when they say expedition actually means war. You know, so they said the Benin expedition, the Niger expedition. That's war, because they go there with warships, and they go with warships, military men, and of course the faith. They use the Christian faith, and under the guise of, oh yes, okay, you've won now. You have to, now we are the kings. You have to disregard everything you've learned about your own culture. You need to follow what we say, because we are the ones who are in control. These are subtle things that we need to understand. What hides a lot of things. Now let's look at this. So now it says here, so League of Nations mandates under the control of allied states, Togoland and German Cameroon. These two places here, you can see that. Let me see if I can break it up like that. Those two places there, Togoland and German Cameroon, were transferred to France. So you now know why. Now, if you wondered why Cameroonians are speaking French, now you know why. It's not by God. If you wondered why we Nigerians are speaking Nigerian and English, now you know why. because on the 1st of January 1900, Germany, UK paid 825,000 or 65,000 pounds to George Goldie to take over Royal Niger Company, which was the North and South. It's not by accident. It's not by God. This is nothing. God has nothing, or their God, whatever their God is, our own Eledumare has nothing to do with it. We need to be very, very clear about what's been done here. And that's why we are trying to bring in programs like this to raise your awareness, to know what has been done and how we go about fixing it. So you can now see that Togo and German Cameroon was transferred to the French, and also British Togoland. I mean, aside from portions given to Britain, British Togoland and British Cameroon. So they are also given parts of Togoland to Britain and parts of it and part of Cameroon to Britain after the First World War. Rwanda and Burundi, they were again colonies under Germany. They were taken away and allocated to Belgium, German Southwest Africa, and that is where, with Rwanda and Burundi, that's where the Belgians were able to now. Well, anyway, that's another story. But Congo is still Belgium anyway. You know, and we know what they did in Congo until date. 20 million people killed. To date, there's been no official. They apologize, but there's no compensation. The people are suffering till date, and there needs to be a reparation, because to kill 20 million people of the people of Congo and nobody pays financial cost for that. That means the injustice is still there till date. Now it says here, whereas Rwanda were located to Belgium, whereas German Southwest Africa went to South Africa. So the Southwest Africa went to South Africa, and Britain obtained German East Africa as compensation for German invasion of Portuguese Africa. Portugal was granted Kionga Triangle, a sliver of German East Africa in northern Mozambique. An Article Treaty transferred German concessions in Shandong. So can you see what is going on now? Let me put this up. Now let's go back to how many Africans fought in the First World War. Agree? 5 million. See that? 2,350,000 people fought in the war. And the war was between two colonials. But we were used as tools to fight their wars. Our resources, our land, our lives. And we were not compensated or appreciated for it as Africans. That's what I'm saying. And that is what is likely to be facing us again. So I wanted to just bring that to your attention so you can see what is being done. Mandates. Go under mandate. Read it yourself. Under the, Germany to renounce sovereignty over former colonies. So you can tell, and this is what I'm telling you now. When we say that Africa is free, we are not free. We are still colonies, largely divided into two, UK and France. Plain fact. That's what it is. And that is why they do not want us to speak about self-determination, the same self-determination that Ukraine is going for. And until we must start, we don't wait for anybody to do that for us. We must do it ourselves. That's why I'm bringing this to your attention. Let's go into the First World War and let's see Second World War and let's see what numbers they had there. So let me bring this to you again. So here's the Second World War. So let me see. Here we go. Now, it says here, Britain's abandoned black soldiers. Can you see that? Yeah, more than 600 Africans fought for Britain in the Second World War. You see? And these are things that are hidden from you. But had faced deadly combat in jungle Burma. Kenyans. I'm just showing you 600,000. These are information that are available. Let me just see if I can get a bit more detail for you on that. I'm just showing you part of the things why we have to really be aware of what is being, what is being said. Let me see. 1 second, please. I don't know what's going on here. 1 second, please. Give me a minute. Okay, so now I'm just trying to make sure that we've got all the right information for you. Yeah. Okay, so now, so yeah, so almost 1 million Africans. Let me just get, I'll send that to you straight away. I'll send that in straight away so we can see that. Sorry, I didn't pick that up. They said 600,000, but it's actually 1 million, close to 1 million. And most likely, probably minimum of 1 million anyway, fought in the war. But there was no acknowledgement of their efforts. None, till date. And these are the things that we need to be aware of. So if they are going to call us to come and fight in the war again, what do you think will happen? What do you think will happen? We will be recognized in view of the fact that they said if you are black, you must walk in a war zone. Do you think we'll be remembered? Do you think they will appreciate our effort? Or are we going to be seen as tools? That's the things that I'm just trying to bring to our attention. I'm not trying to be, I'm just trying to be matter-of-factly about this. Let me just see. Yeah, here we go. That's the one. Okay. So, okay. So, lost their lives fighting for Britain. 15,000 in 1941. For Britain alone. Now, let me look for another one. I want to find this more definitive thing that I saw just now. And I want you to really have that. So let's go back again. Let's do this. Death knows no color is what I'm trying to look for. Death knows no color. So, well, under what is this one? Global history. Global history. So I think that's it, isn't it? Yeah. So now, so what I'm doing here is to show you what was done. These are Africans, and they were forced to go to war to support those who are oppressing them. And that's what I'm trying to get us to really understand a lot of this. You can read it yourself. You can read it. But the text that I really wanted you to pick up on and understand was this bit here. If I can find it. So, Second World War. Let me just try that again myself and see what happens. So, let me just try to make sure that we understand that. Okay. So, but anyway, so that's where we are. So I wanted to show you that. Now let's just see they had a reparations also for the in the Second World War, for the war in that Germans won. And interestingly, in that Second World War, Germany tried to reclaim those lands that I showed you. You see these ones here? Germany tried to reclaim his land back. That was part of the war that they fought. They wanted to reclaim back their land. Interestingly, that is what Russia is doing, trying to reclaim back Ukraine. I'm just showing similarities so you understand what has been done. Okay, Ukraine and Russia are in the same place. But Germany, in terms of the Second World War, part of what they wanted to do was to reclaim the colonies that was taken off them in the first place in the First World War. So these are things that we have to really bear in mind. If we go and dig and look at the history, we have a much clearer picture of what's been done, and we are much likely to avoid the pitfalls of what they've done, what they did earlier on. And like I said, if people want to call in, you're welcome to call in. You can call in on 447399580 606. I know the numbers have been deliberately depressed, but don't worry. What we're doing, Obiona Churchill Ezema, you're welcome. Let me just see if I can find that thing. Let me quickly look at this. Actually, I'll just get you the the compensation about Second World War. Let me just see if I can find it. Let me just see. Okay. Reparations, Second World War. Let's see what happens. Okay. Yeah, let me see what this says. Reparations agreement. Let's have a look at this. Interesting. So let's go here. Yeah, I'm going to forward this to you now. Copy. You will see it come up. I need you to look at this really. So these are things, pitfalls. What we're doing is trying to make sure we avoid the same pitfalls like the last time. We have to avoid the pitfalls of what happened. Now let's look at this. So the Second World War, yeah. Reparations agreement between Israel and the Federal Republic of Germany. So there was a reparations agreement between Israel and the Federal Republic of Germany. That's fine, no problem. Now I'm trying to just show you that there was reparations for those that were badly treated. And I think at some point we will need to sit down and have that discussion that we must, as Africans, have reparations for being colonized. These people are receiving money for colonizing us. The French are getting 500 billion a year, when they've actually should be the one paying for oppressing and suppressing us in our land. And these are the kind of things that we need to, to really be very cognizant and aware of. So let me just see what I'm trying to see if there's anything that they do. They took away some resources and things from Germany as well in the Second World War, so that they would not be able to fight or let me just see the content. Okay, implementation. I'm just showing you what was done now. So what we do need to be aware of. Anyway, in closing, let me just put this back up here. I want to go back to this. We need to remember this. This is why we're saying what we're saying. Just remember that.
Walk. And that was,
listen.
I was begging. The official literally looked me in my eye and said in his language, only Ukrainians, that's all. That if you are black, you should walk. And that was an additional 8 hours from where we were.
So, I guess what I'm trying to say is that now, going into this likely Third World War, what is your opinion about it? Do you have an opinion? Should we stay out of it? What is your opinion? Call in 447399 580-606. We should have this debate among ourselves. Bearing in mind, this is having a strong bearing on the fact that those who are working together, coming together, UK, France, and everybody, and all of that, to come to this, to take on Russia. When we stand up for self-determination in Africa, it's snuffed out. But it is interesting how they quickly get behind Ukraine. And as we now know, Ukraine are saying if you are black, you must walk. That's it. They cannot help you. So they're only Ukrainians. And this is a very important thing for us all to be aware of as Africans. So what is your view on it? How should we, in terms of what is going on, in terms of our self-determination and the lack of support, the fact that we're not getting the support for self-determination in Africa, what should that tell us about this likely war coming and what impact it will have on Africa? The fact of the matter is that we Africans, we are clamoring for self-determination and working towards it. But we are being thwarted by those who still control those in power in the African continent. The borders drawn in the Berlin Conference of 1884 are still effective till today. And those are the kind of things that we need to look at, to be very, very aware of. So we're having this discussion. I'm going to probably throw it out to a lot of more people. I'm going to try and speak to one or two more people to try and bring them on board. But I don't know what your thoughts are about this. Currently, I'm going to keep this up and build this up, keep this discussion going as much as I can. If you do want to come in and add a few things or leave comments, you're welcome to do so. Yeah, to them where they easily get killed. Thank you very much. And that is, you see, Mike Arrow said, even black soldiers will be deployed in positions of war that are at a disadvantage to them, where they easily get killed. And that's the same plight, that's the same plan that the Fulani use against southern military men. They send them into areas where, in the north, where they're going to be killed and picked off easily. The same, this is why we're saying we have to go for referendum now. We cannot be talking to people who are oppressing and suppressing us in our land and to think that that is okay and acceptable. So, ladies and gentlemen, I guess I'm going to probably bring this to a wrap. I'll come back later on, and if I get more updates on things. It's just interesting to note that we as Africans, it's time for us to know that, and remember now that they're saying if you're blacks, you must walk. Not in all cases, but in quite a lot of cases, and a lady having to go to Hungary. And on the other side, the Nigerian government is simply not there to help the people. And that's why we're saying we should not have any trust in or believe in whatever the Nigerian government is telling us of anything at any point, anywhere. So, what is left for me to do now is to say thank you very much for joining me. You're watching, of course, Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. If you want to leave a comment, let me just see. Now, okay, now, fantastic. I just got a text. Let me just see this. Okay. Let me hear this.
Council on Monday after Russia announced its recognition of the 2 breakaway regions of Ukraine, most nations played the parts you might expect. The Western nations condemned the decision to greater or lesser degrees. China and also India called for restraint on all sides. But I found the most interesting speech to be from Kenya's envoy to the UN, Martin.
Racial or religious homogeneity.
All arbitrary. There were all kinds of
but joined together by commonalities of culture and interests. And we took the latter path, and we then came and joined the United Nations, understanding that one
I want to
of
just
the
check
cornerstones
something.
of our sovereignty and independence was the respect for territorial integrity. And you will see that at that beginning, in those first...
Okay, so I'm going to have to play that back later on. I'll probably come back with that because somebody sent that to me now. I was about to close it off, but I forgot that they sent that to me. I thank them. I thank them very much for giving me this information, and I'm going to dissect it. Before I talk about it, I'd like to look at it, see. Yes, in fact, I'm going to do this now, right now. Let me see. Can I do that? Let me just do something quickly. I want you to listen to this bit. I've just got that. And this is very important. Let us, people will not want to hear it, but it's important that we send it anyway. Okay, so let's go and do this now. I'm going to play this. You will hear it straight away. 1 minute. Okay, I need to just download it. It's going to play for a minute. It's from, let's have a look. So let's download this quickly and you will hear it yourself. And I want you to have your own thoughts. It's a good job I actually saw it. Let's just look at this. Let's just, and these are the kind of things that we have to really look at ourselves.
Especially Western channels. How are they covering Russia's invasion with blatant racism? Let me say something at the outset. As journalists, we do not filter hardships and pain. We do not see caste, color, or gender. And we have stuck by this principle. When the Taliban stormed Kabul, we stood with Afghans. When Ethiopia attacked its own people, we questioned them. When unarmed black teenagers were gunned down in the US, we joined the outrage. Today we are doing the same. We see the plight of the Ukrainian people and reported on their hardships. But what about the Western media? They too are reporting on the crisis, on the war, on the refugees. But they do not see hardships. They only see race, the color of your skin, the color of your hair. Let me show you exhibit number 1. This exchange happened on the BBC, the so-called Guardian of Unbiased Reportage. Listen to how their panel describes the refugees from Ukraine.
It's really emotional for me because I see European people with blue eyes and blonde hair being killed.
People with blue eyes and blonde hair. That is why the so-called expert on the BBC is emotional, not because the people are homeless, not because their country is being invaded, but because their hair is blonde. On social media, a lot of people are defending the BBC. They say it's a guest, not their anchor. Let me take you back to September last year. Another guest was speaking on the very same channel, South Asian expert Christine Fair. She called out Pakistan's links with the Taliban. Do you remember what the BBC presenter did? She shut her down. She said it was violating the channel's unbiased coverage. So exposing terror links is a violation. Blatant racism and white supremacy is fine. Gold standard indeed. Now for exhibit number 2, NBC News from the US. Listen to this.
These are not refugees from Syria. These are Christians, they're white, they're very similar.
Very similar to us. How so? Because the Syrian refugees are Muslims, their skin is darker, their hair is not blonde. So Europe does not want them. And remember, this is not being said at some white supremacy cult. This is happening on live television. Exhibit number 3, CBS News, another American broadcaster. Their reporter is appalled by the war, not because there is death and destruction, but because it is happening in Europe.
Like Iraq or Afghanistan, this is a relatively civilized, relatively European city where you wouldn't expect that or hope that it's going to happen.
So Iraq and Afghanistan are uncivilized countries. Their people are uncultured. Their regimes are irresponsible. So they deserve war. They deserve hundreds of bombs and years of occupation. What about Ukraine? According to CBS, no. Ukraine does not deserve war or hardships because Ukraine is civilized. And now for the final exhibit. This one is not from the West. It is from Al Jazeera in Qatar. This anchor simply cannot comprehend the idea of European refugees.
What's compelling is just looking at them, the way they're dressed. These are prosperous, I'm loath to use the expression, these are prosperous middle-class people. These are not obviously refugees trying to get away from areas in the Middle East that are still in a big state of war. These are not people trying to get away from areas in North Africa. They look like any European family that you would live next door to.
That reporter is confused about the refugees. They look middle class, they look like Europeans. How is something so bad happening to them? Well, this is what systemic racism looks like. Do you remember the 2015 refugee crisis? Around 1.3 million people sought asylum in Europe. Most of them were from Syria, Afghanistan, and Nigeria. Do you remember how the West reacted? They shut their borders, they herded the refugees like cattle, and they branded them as terrorists. Back then, Western reportage was quite different. Let me show you what the BBC did. They prepared 7 charts depicting the refugee crisis. Let's focus on chart number 5. Which European countries are most affected? Now remember, this war was in West Asia. The bombs were dropping on West Asia, but this was the BBC's big concern. Which European countries are most affected? Now just to be clear, we welcome what Europe is doing to host Ukrainian refugees. They deserve all the help. Our question is, why just Ukraine? Ukraine is not a member of the European Union. It is not part of NATO. So what explains this level of assistance? Racism. You see, Ukrainians are Europeans. Hence, they get the red carpet, but Africans and Asians get border crackdowns and refugee camps. Western media is part of the problem, I have to say. They reflect the public mentality, their sense of European supremacy. And the problem is, governments are not doing anything to help. In fact, they're adding fuel to this fire. Let me show you what Bulgaria's Prime Minister said about refugees. I'm quoting. These people are intelligent. They're educated people. This is not the refugee wave we have been used to. People we were not sure about their identity. People with unclear pasts who could have been even terrorists. That was a European head of state. He's openly calling West Asian refugees terrorists. If this does not expose Western hypocrisy, Nothing does. They invaded Asian and African countries, they waged war, they committed war crimes, and when the people fled, they shut their borders. What does this tell you? That refugees were never the problem. That money or borders were not the issue. The issue was race. Think about it. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.
Bad faith, injustice, oppression, and persecution. Bad faith. May God bless you all, and may He defend the right. For it is evil things that we shall be fighting against. Brute force, bad faith, injustice, oppression, and persecution. And against them I am certain